Culture Show for those of us who were born a few years ago. Let's show those millennials all the things we know. Being old makes us wise. Sometimes we even go outside. We know about life before 1999. You haven't seen nothing yet if you haven't lived life pre-internet. Listen up, this is stuff you won't want to forget. Midlife Pop Culture Show.
Hello, this is Mr. G, and this is the first episode of Midlife Pop Culture Show. And that song was so amazing, done by my good friend Matt Farley. It made me feel so good, and I hope it's making you feel so good. Let's hear it again. Here we go.
It's a Midlife Pop Culture Show for those of us who were born a few years ago. Let's show those millennials all the things we know. Being old makes us wise. Sometimes we even go outside. We know about life before 1999. You haven't seen nothing yet if you haven't lived life pre-internet. Listen up, this is stuff you won't want to forget. Midlife Pop Culture Show.
Hello, and welcome back to the first episode of Midlife Pop Culture Show. I'm Mr. G. This is going to be a fun show. I hope you enjoy it. This show is basically for the baby boomers, the X generations, the Y generations. I think you're going to like it too. But the baby boomers put cool in cool. And for you millennials, if you put your cell phones down, stop texting, you might even enjoy the show and get something out of it. So we're going to be right back after this for Midlife Pop Culture's Restaurant Reviews. Life is like a pancake, or is it?
Life is like a pancake, 1, 2, 3. Life is like a pancake, can't you see?
Flour gives it structure, baking soda makes it rise. Oh, what a big surprise! Because
life is like a pancake, 1, 2, 3. Life is like a pancake, can't you see?
egg holds it all together, sugar makes it yum, right in my tum-tum-tum. Because
life is like a pancake, 1, 2, 3. Life is like a pancake, can't you see?
syrup sweet and happy, salt not so fun, together yum, yum, yum. Because
life is like a pancake, 1, 2, 3. Life is like a pancake, can't you see?
put it all together, add a little fun, your pancakes will be number one. Your pancakes. I'm saying those pancakes will be number one. They'll be number one. I love them. I love my pancakes. I love my pancakes. I'm Mr. G, and we're going to have some fun now by doing our first segment, Restaurant Reviews. Now, what else does a baby boomer want to do, really want to spend his money on, if and when we decide to go out, which is a scary enough proposition as it is. But I went out these past months, knew when I was going to do this show, and I'm going to give you now restaurant reviews, best to worst. And ladies and gentlemen, if we can go to slide number 1, the surprise of the summer, 50% off the entire bill. Friendly's on South Willow Street. Friendly's on South Willow Street. I couldn't believe it. I went there once, and I was just amazed. As you can see right there, look at that. That's an egg white omelet with beautiful cuts. And this is Friendly's on South Willow Street. Beautiful. My wife had the French toast, which I think is clip number 2 or 3. And her French toast was amazing. It was so good that I went up and I went over and I leaned over the small little kitchen. And I said, great job, chef. Great job. And 50% off your bill. The entire bill. After beverages, everything. Fantastic. I give this I would go back to Friendly's on South Willow Street. It's just amazing. Next, in the fast food category on Midlife Pop Culture Show, we have Wendy's. And if Kirsten will be kind enough to show the Wendy's clip or the Wendy's video, there it is. Look at that. Now, this is called the Very Berry Blast, or the Berry Blast Salad. This is the half salad, ladies and gentlemen, if you can believe it. I was stunned at how good this was. The chicken was warm. There was blueberries and strawberries. And on the rating scale of I would go back with the coupon, I won't go back, I give this one, I would go back. I think this is $4.99. Fantastic. Look at that. That's a work of art. Congratulations to the people on Wendy's on Hooksett Street. Midlife Pop Culture's first show says, you guys are awesome. Next. On Tuesday nights, ladies and gentlemen, this is when me and the wife, or you and your significant other, might be sitting around on Tuesday nights, not wanting to go out and spend a lot of money, but get some good quality food. The 2 for Tuesday Pick of Click. The thing's so good, you're not going to believe it yourself. 2 for 22 Tuesdays at Giorgio's. Giorgio's. Right down, I'm not quite sure the name of that street in Manchester, but it's right off the highway. It's fairly new. 2 for 22. But it's only on the certain section, their classic section, which is fine. And I think Kirsten might be able to show me one of the clips there from Giorgio's, or one of the pics that I have there. There we go. This is the 2 for 22. Now, it may not look super good right now, because before I took the picture, I had a couple bites because it looked so good, and it didn't dawn on me to take a picture of it. This is called the Italian Feast. Look at that. Tomato sauce, beautiful. You got chicken parm. You got veal. You got lasagna. You got a meatball. And really, really good. I believe my wife got the fettuccine alfredo chicken, which was fabulous as well. And us baby boomers have to watch what we spend. So that meal right there, regularly on the menu, $24.95. $24.95 is what used to be on that menu for that. Okay? If you go there regularly. So right there, the $22, I've already, in my mind, I've already broke even on the food end. And then the other meal was, I think, $17 or $18. So that comes up to about, I don't know, $30, $40. And when you just go, and of course, baby boomers, you know the power of the pickup, and just go there and call it and pick it up, and it still comes with their fabulous bread and a little pesto sauce. Mamma mia, good for you, Giorgio's. I would go back. I would only go back, I think, on a Tuesday for dinner, 2 for Tuesdays. Would I go there? It's beautiful atmosphere inside. But, being kind of budgeted, you might call it, or cheap, or I watch my money. 2 for Tuesdays. Go there on Tuesdays, and I think they do something on Mondays for pizza, but that's the deal right there. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about one of my favorite foods, macaroni and cheese. And I visited Mr. Max on Hooksett. And I think I have a picture of the Mr. Max shot there. If Kirsten would be kind enough to put that up. We got a picture of Mr. Max macaroni and cheese. Now, Mr. Max is interesting on a couple different reasons. Cast iron. You're served in cast iron. Oh, there we are. Okay. Now, cast iron is lovely. The rumor is that they shred their own cheese, which I think they do. I ordered mine. This was a small. I believe it was $6.99, and it comes with 2 different add-ons, if you would, besides the basic macaroni and cheese. I got broccoli and cheese. My wife got the barbecue, Southern barbecue. I don't think the authenticity, I don't think it was a real pulled pork flavor on the macaroni and cheese on her end. I loved mine. I absolutely loved it. But yet again, I walked out of there with a drink right around $17, maybe even close to $20, which looking around, I saw that a lot of people were getting the large or the medium and sharing it. Ooh, so there's some finances that need to be looked at with macaroni. I understand what Mr. Max is. It looks semi-healthy. I guess is what you put into the macaroni and cheese. But on a scale of, I would go back with a coupon. I wouldn't go back. I would go back to Mr. Max with a coupon, ladies and gentlemen, with a coupon. And I don't even know if there's coupons there. I think it's a really good place, though. So good job, Mr. Max. And moving on to Midlife Pop Culture, now we're going to talk about maybe a restaurant that kind of, I don't know. You know what they say when you go to a restaurant to see how clean it is? The first thing you do is you look up, you look down, you look at your table, you go to the bathroom. If all looks pretty clean, you might have some sort of hope that the manager on duty is knows what he's doing, keeping the place clean. Not the case at this restaurant. Kirsten, would you mind showing the vent shot here? Now, I went to this restaurant located in Manchester. I don't want to make any enemies and cause any problems, but this restaurant is a favorite of the Manchester area. A lot of people go, and I looked up. Oh, I looked up. Shame, shame, shame. That's the air conditioning vent, my Midlife Pop Culture friends. And I was seated right underneath it. And when I first went to the first time, I pointed it out as I was leaving to the cashier. And the cashier said to me after I said, you know, that vent's really dirty. Why don't you put it down? She looked at me. She said, it's $4.99 or $6.99 a pound to take out. And I said, no, your vent is dirty. But that's here nor there. I left. About a month later, went back, took another picture of it, and it identical to that. That's the same picture, but a month later, they still have not cleaned that vent. And it was just, if you're right on top of it, you know, those particles are going to come down. And the second time I went, I was seated right underneath it. Like, I'm looking up in this studio now, as I would in a restaurant. If we could click back here, Kirsten. I'm looking at this studio, which is the first time I've been in it. And if this was a restaurant, I would look up. And on these lights right here, all around, very, very clean. That tells me a couple things. Manchester Public Access is the cleanest station of all time and the best. Or someone just came in here and did clean the lights periodically. Or it's such a clean area, they don't even need to clean the lights. But I'll ask Kirsten that later on. So shame, shame, dirty restaurant. Midlife crisis gives you, boy, I don't know if I'd go back. I think I would go back. But just make sure I didn't I don't know. That's a interesting situation because it is a good restaurant. You do get a lot of food. But the vent, look up, be careful. I'll give you an update because I'll go back there before the next show and we'll take another picture of the dirty vent problem. Okay. Now, okay. Expectations versus reality. You go out to get some food. The baby boomers especially, it could be the day. It could be what you're doing all day long or after you come home from work. You're tired. And then you see a advertisement on TV for Taco Bell. Taco Bell. Where you see a fabulous chef cutting up your food, white jacket on. Looks like they just came out of culinary school. Happy to be there. That's the expectations that we get from the media. The reality is, the people that are making your food at Taco Bell at 10 o'clock at night are much happier than you are. Okay, that's just the facts. And they did not go to culinary school, and they're probably just trying to work to make a buck. But if you want to believe that there's a chef there, you go right ahead as they open up those number 10 cans in the big bags that they have. Another expectations versus reality, Golden Corral. Golden Corral. I just saw the new advertisement for Golden Corral as I was doing research for the Midlife Pop Culture Show. Wow. They show a picture of his beautiful family. Nobody has a cell phone on. The young man has a tie. The little kid has a bow tie on. The dad and mom are happy. Everyone's singing, I love the Golden Corral. Now, if you want to schlep all down to Springfield, the closest one, what you will encounter, the reality is, you got a bunch of knucklehead little kids running around there, going over to the fountain, licking the fountain, opening up the ice cream thing, turning around the ice cream thing, going over their heads, putting the ice cream all the way in. You got people fighting over who's going to get like the last piece of blueberry rhubarb pie. It is just a zoo. But yet again, it's $12.95, all you can eat. Whew. Golden Corral. Wow. Well, that ends our first segment of, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm trying to get in the, getting a little bit of the rust out here, but I think it's going pretty well. And now we're going to talk after we come back. Oh, I've got one more thing, one more food to talk about. Last week, I'm going to transition into the next part of our show is going to be a Yes concert that I went to at Club Casino. I'll give you the quick updates, and I have a little video here. We were on our way to the show. We were a little hungry. We didn't want to stop anywhere. Being baby boomers, we parked in the back for $10 of the Club Casino. I called up. I said, is there any food in there? My wife said, all I really want is some nachos and some cheese. And the lady said there is a restaurant inside. Of course, I was a little bit concerned. Oh, my God, what am I going to see in there? $12.95 for a nacho and some fancy guy trying to serve it to me. But much to my surprise, and good on you, Club Casino at Hampton Beach, there was a Sal's Pizza. A little window right on the side, inside the Club Casino. Could you show me that, if you don't mind? I think it's going to say Sal's Pizza on there. Anyways, Anyway, Sal's Pizza was in there. It was fantastic. There it is. Okay. We walked into Sal's. Thank you for putting that slide up. We walked into into the Club Casino, and it was super hot outside. We were a little hungry. We just drove down from Manchester, right down 101, and boy, 101 has changed a lot. Anyways, boom. I got a piece of pizza, hot, fresh, no line, $3.50. Nachos, I don't know, maybe $3 or $4. The whole thing right there, and the soda cost me under $10. It was awesome. The show hasn't started yet, and great job, Club Casino. Good job, Sal's, for being in there. You made this baby boomers Yes concert experience top notch. Now we'll be right back after this super song by Matt Farley, and we'll do a little entertainment for you. We'll be right back on the Midlife Pop Culture Show.
It's a Midlife Pop Culture Show for those of us who were born a few years ago. Let's show those millennials all the things we know. Being old makes us wise. Sometimes we even go outside. We know about life before 1999. You haven't seen nothing yet if you haven't lived life pre-internet. Listen up, this is stuff you won't want to forget. Midlife Pop Culture Show.
We're back. That was Matt Farley's own original song for me. Check out Matt Farley online, Motown Media. He has 20,000 songs. He was nice enough to write that song for me. And it puts me in a good mood. And you know what else put me in a good mood? Going to that Yes show like I talked to and get that food I just had at Sal's inside. I saw Yes, or one form of Yes. You baby boomers, the artistic prog rock aficionados, or in that thing, would know the band Yes. Their big hit was called Roundabout. That was super big. I would sing it to you, but I don't want to make this any more painful than it may already be. So, without further ado, I got maybe a 10-second clip on the Midlife Pop Culture Show of my when I was inside the Club Casino after song one. That's all I got. So, check it out. This is Mr. G for Mr. G's Pop Culture Show. I just got a musical chill a little bit. As Yes just played Closer to the Edge as their opening song. This is Mr. G at Hampton Beach Casino Ballroom with Yes. Let's listen to song number 2. Your guess is as good as mine. We'll be back at you later. Wow. The song that they played to start the show was a song called Closer to the Edge, a 15 to 20 minute little ditty. Yes is a very artistic band. Yes is now split up into 2 different bands, which is kind of a shame. The show was good though. They played some really deep cuts. I only knew maybe 3 or 4 songs. If I want someone that really knew Yes, they probably know everyone they played. But it was fantastic. Steve Howe, original guitar player, just really good. And that was a real good time. Okay. So we'll be, what do I have next for you? Oh, okay. Some TV stuff. The Middle just ended. The show The Middle ended last couple weeks ago. Fantastic. The actress that's on Everybody Loves Raymond, the mom, is on that show. She plays a totally different character. Great job. But my favorite character was Brooke Shields, who played the crazy neighbor who lived down the road. And wow, if you want to check how really maybe not underrated Brooke Shields is as an actress, besides a model, check out The Middle, and I'm sure you could find one about the ones that Brooke Shields in. She was in a few of them. But hats off to The Middle that didn't leave Jumping the Shark. Jumping the Shark is when Fonzie jumped the shark during the Happy Days, and that's now significant of if something's jumped a shark, that means the show has gone a little bit boring and terrible. It's kind of lost its edge. And a show that I'm really concerned about that's lost its edge is The Big Bang Theory. It's been on for 10 years. I didn't start watching the show till about 5 years ago. It's fantastic. But right now, I'm fear they might be getting ready to jump the shark. I'm interested still, but I'm really not interested. They're not that nerdy collective that they started out to be. Most of them have married off on the show now. I think there's one guy that's not married off, but great show. Concerned about them jumping the shark. A spinoff from that show was a show called Young Sheldon, which is Sheldon Cooper is the intellect, socially awkward person on The Big Bang Theory. And they have a young kid playing him as a high school student, and he's only about 10 or 11 years old. I recommend you watch Sheldon and Young Sheldon. And if the producers of that show are watching, which I'm sure they're not, watch a little more focus on Sheldon in school than the grandmother and the mother. I really don't care about that. I care about how Sheldon's interacting with the world at such a young age. Okay, so To Tell the Truth, a remake of the original To Tell the Truth. I like it, but I don't like it. And the reason I don't like it is, number one, the MC's mom is sitting there on a chair making comments. Don't care. But more importantly, the contestants on the original To Tell the Truth, the contestants on there, if they got a vote from the celebrities and thought that they fooled the celebrities, they would get money for each celebrity that voted for them. They don't do that on this one. It's about how many the celebrity got, and then the celebrity, wow, look at me, it doesn't mean anything, but I got more than all the other celebrities. I don't care. I think the guys that try to fake the celebrities out, like on the old show, they should be getting that money. So To Tell the Truth, Match Game, great job. Alec Baldwin, fantastic. You guys have nailed it. The Gong Show, which is on right now, little do you know that, Mike Myers of Shrek and the other movies that he's done, he's the MC. They make him up. He looks like a middle-aged English guy, but if you look closely, it's Mike Myers playing the host, who used to be Chuck Woolery back in the Baby Boomers day when the Gong Show used to be on. But I think I'm running out of time, but I'm going to be back to wrap this show up with a little bit about customer service. Wow, this show's going by fast. I hope you guys are getting something out of it. We'll be right back with sports. So we're going to hear Always Wear Your Socks with Your Sneakers, and we're back with sports right after this on the Midlife Pop Culture Show. Always wear your socks with your sneakers. Your feet won't stink and gross out other people. Keep your feet clean and smelling like a garden. Mr. G, and welcome back to the Midlife Pop Culture Show. Now we're going to talk about sports. Okay? The new thing, the category is going to be called New Sports That I'm Interested in, but probably will never play. And the one right now is a new sensation called disc golf. Disc golf is when they take frisbees on a large course and you throw them into a large basket. It's so much more inexpensive than golf. I'm glad it's here. Look it up, disc golf, and these guys are throwing them 200-300 yards around bootleg courses. It's just an amazing sport. There's a lot of free parks around in the area. If I wasn't a baby boomer and as lazy as I've become, I'd probably go out and try it. But probably not gonna, but it's called disc golf, and it's fantastic. Another thing that I want to talk about real quick, World Cup, great job. France beat Croatia. I thought it was an amazing job. A lot of fun to watch. Wouldn't watch it during football season, but I watched a little bit of it because it is exciting. Those guys are just right out there doing a great job. But boy, they take their soccer seriously. And we'll be right back with the ending segment of Midlife Pop Culture. We'll talk about a little customer service concerns that I've had. And then we'll wrap it up on Midlife Pop Culture Show. We'll be right back. Always wear your socks with your sneakers. Your feet won't stink and gross out other people. Keep your feet clean and smelling like a garden. You just might keep your friends around another day. Get some socks and roll them to your ankles. White one's best for keeping down the odor. Thermal good when it gets a little colder. Always wear your socks with your sneakers. Don't you know your feet need tender loving? Just like always have. Back with the Midlife Pop Culture Extravaganza, half an hour pilot episode. Wow, we're having some fun. Customer service time. Customer service time. Good for you, Valvoline on Pinardville. I went there with a couple of serious issues with my car, and they went out of their way to make my not only oil changing experience fantastic, because it's always scary when you're going to get your oil changed. They, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? I know, I just want my oil change. When I went to the Valvoline one there, I got excellent customer service. It gets the Midlife Pop Culture customer service seal of approval. That's the Valvoline on Pinardville on Mass Road. And a special shout out to Chris, who worked on my car. She worked on my car for like 45 minutes while I was sitting in it because I had a problem with a knob or something underneath. I didn't even understand what she was talking about, but she did it. I gave her, a super big thank you. And again, thank you, Chris, on that. And leaving on a negative note, Blank Communications, not Comcast, not Verizon, but you fill in the blanks, baby boomers, X generations, Y generations, millennials. Boy, to make a long story short, one of their wires, who I wasn't even using at my house, fell down during the snowstorm last year, knocked down my heating coil on my house, broke it in half, called them up to a super bad attitude from the land guy, from the person in their supposed supervisor, as the land guy who was at my house connecting me to the supervisor. Shame on you, Blank Communications. Shame on you. You couldn't even go out and fix my wire, that your wire broke. If your wire broke and hit the tree, and that tree came down and hit my car, you would be responsible. So what is the problem with you? You can't even reconnect the wire that your wire fell. But you know what? This is Midlife Pop Culture. I'm Mr. G. I want to thank again Matt Farley for writing that song. All my family and friends that put up with my ridiculousness. And if all goes well, I'll come back, do another show here at the fantastic, super Manchester Public Access. Do we call it public access here? Yes? Yeah. And Kirsten, who I just met yesterday, doing a fabulous job, and hopefully she won't shake her head, and hopefully she's laughing a little bit back there, then discouraged of what she just saw. But anyways, this is Midlife Pop Culture for all you baby boomers and millennials, XY generation. Be happy, be good to each other, and we'll see you next time on the Midlife Pop Culture Show.
It's a midlife of us who were born a few years ago. Let's show those millennials all the things we know. Being old makes us wise. Sometimes we even go outside. We know about life before 1999. You haven't seen nothing yet if you haven't lived life pre-internet. Listen up, this is stuff you won't want to forget. Midlife Pop Culture Show.